Hi, my name is Holly Simpson. I have actually graduated in the nonprofit management certificate in December of 2020. I chose an online program basically because I'm kind of what you would call a non-traditional student. I've been out of school for some time before I decided to return, and I was working full time and I had a busy life. Online just seemed to really fit with where I was at that time. I chose Kent State University for a few reasons, actually. Well, first, my brother actually attended Kent State for his undergrad, and he just really enjoyed his time there. And so I would visit, and I've been around Kent State for a really long time. And then next, I am actually a Kent State employee. So I was just really familiar with the programs, and it was just super convenient. Kind of along with that, like some of the same qualities that attracted me to Kent State as an employee, such as, just a wide range of opportunities, enjoyable and rewarding work, and just reliability and dependability as an employer. That also made me want to be a student here. So Kent State offered a wide range of study areas that can lead to really rewarding careers. And Kent just has a really good campus, a beautiful campus to enjoy, and then just offers really quality education. So what led to my choice of this specific online program is that the nonprofit management certificate just really complemented the master's degree that I was pursuing at the same time. So it was just a really good fit. Some of the courses even double counted towards both my master's degree and the certificate. And then also just the nonprofit certificate, the content of the classes, they just really resonated with me. I found every class interesting, and it was just a really good choice for me. Really, the biggest value for me for being an online student was time savings and time management. Kind of like most people I know, my life is just really busy, and time is just always a hot commodity. So not having to travel to a specific classroom location, I was able to just save so much time. And then by being able to complete the work around my schedule, I was able to still have a life outside of work and outside of studying. So yeah, so I really enjoyed those aspects of being an online student. So 3 words that I would use to describe this program, I would have to say it was rewarding. It was very challenging, but then it was just also achievable. Since graduation, I have been able to utilize my experience in the nonprofit management certificate program in my current position at Kent State. If for some reason I would ever be looking for a different position, I would definitely want to stay in the nonprofit sector. So I think that this degree and this certificate would greatly benefit me even in other areas or other pursuits that I would choose. Well, there's a lot of things that I could say that I really liked about the program. I think probably the most for me was just the online format. It just really complemented my life at that time and allowed me to do other things outside of class. The faculty, it's a different flavor with being an online student, but you still get to know your instructors and the faculty. So I really kind of enjoyed that aspect. And then just the program content. Every single class I found interesting. Even, sometimes you look at the titles and they're not always the most exciting content that you think is going to be in there, but it's like I was always able to pull some interesting fact, interesting, content out of those courses. So I really enjoyed that. The program content, I think, has really just helped me in my current position. It has really just helped with some aspects of my job in. For example, there's program evaluation, and part of my job that I currently do is program review here at Kent State. So it directly correlated and helped with different aspects of my job. And then I think just also the research skills that you acquire as a student, it just really made me a better employee. There's just so many topics that you encounter on a day-to-day period that you have to know about that you might not have encountered before or know how they work. And so just having that research aspect just really helped me, I think, be a better employee. Also personally, just a kind of a personal story. My brother actually started a nonprofit not too long ago. And, that can be kind of confusing in setting some of that stuff up. And so I was able to actually help him and assist with some of the questions he had about just setting up a nonprofit and that process. So it's kind of helped me in that way as well. So Kent State, who is my current employer, it is considered a nonprofit. So I have been in the field of nonprofit for quite a while. So I guess I've never strayed too far away from the nonprofit sector. I would say, of course, I would recommend this program. I actually have recommended it to a couple of family members, and I have talked about it with different colleagues. And so, yeah, it's definitely something I would recommend. So the application process for this program, I thought was relatively easy. I didn't really have any problems in applying for the program. So yes, there are some requirements. To me, you're required to put some work in and some thought about why you want to be in the program, which is not a bad thing. I think you should know that and be able to kind of reiterate that. And you have to, kind of gather some recommendation letters and things like that. But I found that if you're prepared to be a graduate student, it's really not difficult to apply for this program at all. To be honest, my contact with advising and program coordinators, I didn't have a large amount of interaction with advisors, mainly because the program was just really laid out well, and it was just kind of it was easy to follow. So you kind of had your course of action and your plans from semesters to semester of courses to take. But there were a few times that I did have some questions about a class or just, kind of the program in general. And I would just email those questions in, and I would get very quick responses and answers to my questions. So it was positive contact with advisors. Just I personally just didn't have a lot of contact. Having a sense of connection with faculty and others in an online program, I think that you kind of get a different flavor to that connection and those interactions with faculty and classmates. So, of course, as you can imagine, most of the interaction is virtual and mostly through email, which can kind of give you somewhat of a disconnected feeling. But what I found with the program is the faculty kind of took the extra time to make connections. So some instructors incorporated live chat in their office hours and virtual office hours. Some had Facebook Live sessions to ask questions, and that really helped. And it was very nice to have that kind of immediate conversation with the instructor and kind of ask follow-up questions. And so that was a nice way to do that. And then some classes that I did take in this program, the students actually set up Facebook groups so that we could have, groups where we could just ask questions of each other, that we could interact, more informally, and we didn't have instructors there. So as classmates, we were able to connect that way. So I would say really the sense of connection in an online program is kind of what you make of it and how creative you can get. So I think that this program does a good job with that, but it's also a responsibility of the student as well as the faculty. So I think that the program did a good job with that. Well, I did have one. So for any additional comments that I would want to tell prospective students or anything like that, whenever I talk to someone that is on the fence about getting another degree or certificate, my first question to them is usually, is this really an interest? Is this something that you really want to do? And if they answer yes, but they still just don't know about the time commitment or, just how much it's going to take, this is what I usually tell them. And I just say, time is going to pass one way or another. And this time next year, do you want to be close to or have a new credential? Or do you still want to be asking if you should start it? And then just go for it. So just start the program, start the certificate. And that's kind of my advice to anyone that's still on the fence about that.